Hello and welcome to a Let's Play in Victoria 2. As always, this is Densius. So we're back. Let's see how far we can get through before how much westernising we can get done. Ooh, instantly jumps up. No, it's only foreign training methods. Don't get all excited. But we're at 5600. Admin reform is at 6300. So we're getting close. It's good. But I think I'll go with this one. Transport reforms. This means I get to build the basic train tracks, which helps boost a whole load of income. Hurry. There we go. Yay! Transportation done. Like you see, it automatically creates them in the primary province. But I want to build them here as well. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. It's Control, not Shift. Whoops. And Control. There we go. Control. It improves all manner of things, and unfortunately I can't build them in all of them yet. I'll show you here. See this? I'll hover over it. Discover the 4 ticks, the 4 green asterisks. Discovered, experimental railroad, economic policy allows building, because if I had a different kind of economic policy, only capitalists could build them. Level 0 of 1, basically they're flat plains. Experimental railroad is level 0, so that's fine. However, I can't build them here, and that's because hills make it -1. So currently, as far as they're concerned, I don't have, my trains aren't good enough to work on hills. They won't work here either, but they will work in forest because it's flat. But forest on hills, it's impossible. Mexico, for example, with its mountains, just as a random one, I can't show you, but it's like -2 or 3 for mountains. Swamps like -2, mountains -3. Only the best can work there. America has its own share of mountains, of course. I was in here during the summer. I started in Colorado, went over to San Francisco, down the coast to Los Angeles, through Death Valley to Vegas, back to Colorado, and took a plane to Iceland, where I waited for 10 hours for my connecting flight. Continue! Let's look at newspaper. Prussia. I mentioned how Prussia would change. I don't know if it was in this or episode 0, but it's become the North German Federation. It goes through a number of changes throughout the game, usually, and it becomes quite a dominant power in Europe, and can be quite useful at facing off against Russia. Great Britain is always a useful ally, but they tend to only blockade, because they got such a large fleet. I always try to avoid fighting the English. I meant British, the United Kingdom. I mentioned in the last one they went towards Johor. That was there. It's gone now. I don't need 300. I get that a day nearly. I don't really need that either. I'll change the stockpile by 20. And now we play the waiting game. Oops. One of the first things I want to do in this is, if you see look, that's what these reforms do. Experimental railroad. They've given me that. Is it? None of the others yet, but it should happen. Important thing to occur in medicine is, where are you? Prophylaxis against malaria, right there. Now it says min life rating. Now what that does, and what that means, is the min life rating for colonizing, which I don't have the option to yet, but I will eventually. This place can be colonized right away. These ones in the middle can't. They have a min life rating. You see here, province life rating 15. This one's province life rating 20, and I can do it without. And see, that gives me a list of technology I can research to help colonize things better. Up here, I think that's 15 as well. Yeah, these are all 15. These islands. Upper house has been assembled. Yay. All of these islands are difficult to colonize. That's why they haven't been colonized yet. Whereas these ones, their life rating is higher, which is why they've already been colonized. Except for these can be colonized right now, but they haven't been yet. My main fight against the main people I'll be fighting will probably be Spain and the Dutch. Drive these colonial powers out. Brunei. I might just sphere Korea rather than fighting them. The reason I've paused is the Chinese Empire offered an alliance. Okay, that can be useful. I'm not going to actually send any soldiers to help them because I don't have any ships to do it. Well, I have one ship, but I can't fit men on there yet. Continue. I have not explained this yet. International crises. I'll show you. And the reason why I didn't is because it was greyed out in episode 0. This is the situation. The Portuguese Natal Zululand crisis over the liberation of Zulu. There is a situation that's boiling that the great powers can respond to, siding on different sides. Some can join Spain, like Spain's joined Portugal, I believe, and no one is supported. And the Russian Empire is being asked. I don't know. Basically, you can have the different countries on different sides, and it can build up to a First World War style fight. Except that the Great War doesn't occur until later in the game. A technology is researched or discovered called Great War, where the countries just hack away at each other until only one side wins. You can't peace out. You can't do a Crusader Kings 2 style white peace. It's 100% war score, or the war just drags on forever. It's a late game mechanic, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, this crisis will be diffused. No one will join with it. See, no one joined it. The first few crises don't do anything like that. War between Burma and Siam. France's relations. Neptune discovered. Spain and Morocco. Right, the way those crises occur, like that, I mean, I'll take this as an example. This is caused by Russia, but it's also caused by me. Now, if it wasn't caused by Russia and Russia just held this, they would get here flashpoint attention. As things build up, events would occur that you could do that would cause a war. Some would side with me, some might side with Russia. That's just the way it would go. But that's unlikely to happen because, like I said, we both got cores. It tends to happen more down here. Like, even though the Ottomans have territory, it's from the Greeks, and when the Ottomans eventually lose great power status, that's how it works. Like, if Russia lost great power and I became a great power, or just became supported by great powers, tension might occur, but it's unlikely to. Continuate. There we go. Administrative reform. Finally doing it. Boom. Now, I'm at 75% of the way there. If I go straight, if I push for industrial construction, which is the hardest, well, needs the most research points, civilization 25%. So essentially, the next reform I take will bring me into Western society. I suppose I should talk about rank and how to become a great power. These are the 8 great powers. The next 8 powerful are secondary powers, and they want to push these other powers out. Like, I'll take me as an example. Japan. Japan. There we go. I currently have 51 points. Like you just saw, a switch there. The Ottomans and the Spanish switch sides. Spain's no longer a great power. But the Ottomans are at 114 points. 113 points. I'm at 51. If my points get above the Ottomans, they're decaying. This is what I mean. It's because they're fighting a war and they're losing soldiers. You can, like the USA, for example, over here. Actually, I'm cored now. I'm sphered, not cored. Sorry. God, so much stuff is happening. This is another political party. They tend to be militant and shoot people, and they don't like to work through the government. They don't vote in favour of liberal reforms. They want to keep the government conservative, so that the people will get angry, so they'll rise up and violently do it instead of just doing it legally. It's strange. This here, the military reserves are mobilised. This is where you conscript your basic civilians to fight. USA is fighting a war, quite a big one. against Mexico. Mexico might well have, yeah, see, Mexico's mobilized their reserves as well. This can artificially push up your great power status. Like someone could lose great power status because of a mobilization of reserves for so long, but then when they're demobilized, they lose great power and everything returns to normal. Continuing. I'm sure I was talking about something else. Yeah, this is why it's good to be. The Chinese have a massive, massive army, but once you're westernized and you've got a few technologies under your belt, and China takes forever to westernize, sometimes it doesn't at all, you can take like 3 or 4 of these stacks attacking you quite easily with an army of just that many. Of course, they're all irregulars. These are all irregulars as well. So at the moment, I'm not a match. The only thing I have to advantage is the fact that they can't actually get to me. They don't have boats. In fact, that's how you win against China in the early games, is you blockade them. That's another point. This is all Chinese Empire, but as you can see, they're separate kingdoms or territories. Within the China game, you can integrate these to become a super empire. They're dangerous when they do that, particularly if they get advanced military weapons as well. So this is the pop-up for the radical faction. That's the anarcho-liberals I mentioned earlier. And this is just telling me the railroads got built, so dismiss all. Whew. Talking. Vamping, really, while I wait for my entire civilization to catch up. Mexico's losing badly. Let's just continue watching until they finally gets driven out entirely. I've forgotten how to check. Diplomacy. Show wars. There we go. 74% in the American liberation of California. It's an interesting turn of phrase, of course, because California is not actually part of America, being an independent nation. There we go. But it's because, look, it's a democracy. They're a democracy, so liberation is odd. But it's because they have a core. The game doesn't name it anything else, because they have cores. I've played a game as Mexico where I've successfully dismantled the United States by supporting the Confederacy, much to my uncomfortable feelings. But you can see, like, you can create the California Republic as an independent nation, the Deseret as an independent lot. You get different cores, like some places can't change. Like there's Texas, you can spin Texas off as independence, the Confederacy off as independence, New England off as independent groups. There we go, there's a bit more of Colombia, you can spin Colombia off and leave the United States as a shell of its former power. And I only did that because I was Mexico and I really didn't want to have to face a completely overpowerful United States. And I managed to get the British involved. That was helpful. Very tough, very difficult, never been able to repeat it because it's, frankly, the random number generators are on my side. It's quite difficult in the current version of Victoria 2 to do that. It was easier in earlier ones, it's not so simple now. Fears of the North German Federation. They're scared of Russia, I suspect. No, they're scared of the Netherlands. Chinese Empire has expanded. To the rise of Sweden, the Taiping Rebellion. Oh, the Kingdom of Heaven has split off and been crushed. Didn't even notice. Fears of the Ionian Islands. Two Sicilies. Chile goes to war. The Ottoman Empire and Egypt are fighting again. Egypt always gets stomped on. I suppose I should mention how soon. Nearly 9,000. It's over 9,000. 10,000. Okay, so pretty close. You can build, if you take this territory and you have to take the Suez and you have enough soldiers, right technology, you can create the Suez Canal, or if you sphere Egypt. You can do the same with Panama, and there's another Russian one that I can't remember where it is exactly right now. Stockpile the tea for later. Yay. Let's see how soon. 10,000, oh, pretty close, less than 1,000. It's important because it means we can finally begin to play the game properly. Plus we'll start getting prestige and industrial power, and speaking of which, I'm going to switch from encouraging soldiers to encouraging... I can't yet, never mind, ignore that. Craftsmen. You need craftsmen, labourers and stuff like that to work a modern society. Come on. There we go. Okay, and now we westernize. Our country is under intellectual assault by modernity and the Western world. In the fields of modern technology, industry, and military theory, the old traditions and institutions no longer serve us as they used to. Everywhere we turn, Western influences spread like wildfire through our nation, our population, and our souls. If we are to remain what we have always been, and not become something else entirely, now is the time to assume control of our own destiny. It has become apparent to the leading members of our intellectual elite that the only way to turn the tide of Western Leviathan is to swim with it. For, as Sun Tzu says, the reed that bends before the wind also offers a form of resistance. Wagons west, because that's relevant for Japan. 11 prestige. It should push me up some of the status. Not quite a secondary power status, and I can start doing this. And I will begin encouraging craftsmen, because it was craftsmen clerks, not labourers. I want to encourage craftsmen because I need to start building factories. Now this hammer that's appeared is the default factory I get gifted when I research that particular westernized technology. I can now research these things, and I'm going to focus, like I said, on the colonial benefits. And I think that means medicine, and hope for prophylaxis against malaria gets researched. Start research. Negative. Hierarchical order. Allows Dragoon. Wonderful. That's a good piece of technology right there. I'll be disbanding these irregulars. I'm 11. I'm a number 11 power. Where are you? You are sphered by America. I need to start planning an attack on Hawaii, essentially. The Japanese are going to attack Hawaii. Yay! And that's so that America don't get a leapfrog to the Philippines. Okay. So, thank you for watching. My name has been Densius. We are westernized. We are preparing for war and to build our own empire. Ciao for now.